in the end, we have concluded that even though we reject the claims of Rashad Khalifa himself, there are certain things about the Quran which are undeniable. This is about the book itself, and we don't reject the book. And we don't reject the obvious findings which are connected with the book.
And what are some of the examples?
Well, we find that the Quran actually draws our attention to 19. In a verse of the Quran, in the 74th chapter, the 30th verse, the Quran says, "Alayha tis'ata ashar," over it are 19. And within the context, what it means is that there are 19 angels guarding hell. So it's not so much about the number 19 itself as a phenomenon in the Quran. It's just talking about 19 angels guarding hell. But Rashad Khalifa took that to be 19, like as a pattern in the Quran. But so we're not saying this means that there is a 19 pattern in the Quran. It means there are 19 angels guarding hell. But at the same time, it led somebody to think that there is a possibility of 19 being a mathematical system embedded in the Quran. And indeed, we are finding that 19 pops up in some very key places, which draw our attention to the Creator's involvement with the text.
So I know you know more. So what are some of the other examples?
So right here, where it says over it are 19, that's in the 30th verse. The very next verse, the 31st verse of that 74th surah, explains in detail why God made 19 angels to guard hell. And it says that this is in order to strengthen the faith of the believers and even to give certainty to the people of the book who might be looking at the Quran. And at the same time, this same phenomenon will cause people who want to doubt to say, well, you know, what does God mean by all of this, to deride the information. Now, this verse, which goes into such great detail explaining the wisdom behind the 19 angels, actually comprises 57 words, which is 19 times 3.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And which we know to be a rare phenomenon, that it's a product of 19. Then we go to what preceded this verse in this surah, and we see that the first 30 verses actually comprise 57 words, 95 words, which is 19 times 5. And the first 19 verses comprise 57 words, which is 19 times 3. And what is even more interesting is that, you know, the passage reads, and then we come to the mention of the word 19. So over it are 19. If we count all of the letters from the beginning of that chapter all the way to the word 19, just before the word 19, there are 361 letters, which is 19 times 19. So it's as if we're counting the words and we're saying 19 times 1, 19 times 2, 19 times 3, 19 times 18, 19 times 19.
Right on
and
the
then
dot, and
right
that's
there
where
it says 19 in a word, right?
Wow.
Tis'ata ashar, 2 words, which make up the word 19 in Arabic.